Hi, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to work on our mug tree a little more. And if you're just getting here, we've got the base cut out. The next step in this project will be to cut a pocket out in the base for a 1 1/4 inch dowel rod to be inserted into to hang our coffee mugs on. Now ideally, when possible, we would do this on the drill press, but that's not always possible. For instance, if this piece was too big for our drill press, we wouldn't be able to get in the center. So there's a couple ways around that, and I'd like to share them with you today. One of which would be to, I suppose a guy could take a hand drill, but I'm not real good with a hand drill, and it'd be really rough to get a good, straight, perfect hole in there. But we're going to use the trim router today. And we've got a special bit in our trim router. I'd like to show you. It's called a templating bit. And the way it works, we've got a template, so to speak, just a small piece of 1/4 inch plywood with a 1 1/4 inch hole drilled in it. It fits perfectly on our dowel rod. And what we'll do is, let me get you a better shot of this router bit here. The way this router bit works, if you'll notice, it has a bearing above the cutter. So we will take our piece of plywood and temporarily glue it to our workpiece, and that bearing will follow the hole in our plywood and transfer exactly that hole from the plywood onto our workpiece. So what we need to do is to glue our template down to our workpiece. But we don't want it glued permanently. We want it temporarily, but very secure. And the best way that I have to do that right now, there's a couple different ways. The way we're going to do it today is it's called the blue tape and super glue method, as far as I know. We will apply blue tape to our piece and to our template, and then we'll super glue the blue tape together. It's very effective, and when we're done, we can pry it up and you'll never even know we glued it down. So I'm going to find my super glue, and I'll glue this down and we'll go from there. Now I've already got this laid out where I need to glue it on. I've already got center marked. And what I'm going to do, since I have a hard time holding it in place, I'm going to clamp this square here where it needs to go. That way I can quickly align it with the glue on there. Before the glue starts to set up, I can quickly align it on there. So what we've got here, we've got blue tape, painter's tape, stuck down to our piece very well. 2 spots. We got our template. We've got corresponding blue tape. We'll take and put 2 drops of super glue on each piece of tape, which will be plenty. And then we'll stick them together and let the glue dry. Now I've got this square clamped down. That way it's easy for me to line. I don't have to try to line my marks up, and it'll just, I can put it up there and know it's there. So here we go. Now when you do this, you want to make sure your blue tapes are lining up, because you don't want to get super glue on your piece or on your template, and then it don't want to come off, and you don't want to have to fight with it. Here we go. We'll let that set up for a minute. Shouldn't take but a minute or two. And we'll get to cutting. Alright, our super glue's had plenty of time to dry. I think we're ready to get started cutting here. We'll take our clamps off. Before we do any cutting, we'll want to ensure that our template is centered in our piece. Because once we start, there's no turning back, so they say. And we'll do that, since this is a perfect circle and this is a perfect square, we'll just measure and see if our measurements are the same on all four sides. Just to verify, real quick, there's 10, 2 5/8, 2 5/8, 2 5/8. Looks good. We're ready to clamp this thing down and cut it. Now the way we're going to clamp this down, we got our bench vise right here, and on the top of the bench vise are 2 3/4 inch dowel rods that stick up. And then on the table we have 3/4 inch dowel rods. And then as I close this vise, these 2 dowel rods are going to, these 4 dowel rods rather, are going to squeeze my workpiece and leave the top completely open. At the same time, they're holding our workpiece very secure. We'll clamp that down and go from there. At this time we'll want to check our template, and it is on there. I've already got the depth of my router bit set, and what we'll do we will turn the router on and then slowly plunge into the center of our template and slowly go to the depth and then work our way out in a circular motion. It's best to go counterclockwise with a handheld router. You should always go counterclockwise. I'm going to get my gear on and we will cut this out. A little heads up, this is going to make a mess. The dust is going to go everywhere. So be ready for that. And always have your safety gear, your dust mask, your glasses, your earplugs, and a face shield. Here we go. That's it. Simple as that. Probably take longer to clean the mess up than it did to do it. And there it is. Like I said, it'd probably take longer to clean up the mess than it did to do it. But, as a result, we have we've got a perfect pocket in there for our dowel rod. Now, as a testament to the strength of this blue tape and super glue method, the only way I can get it loose is with a chisel. And also, alternatively, you could use a hot glue gun in 4 spots. Would work just as well, but it's a little more to clean up. This way, all we have to do is pry it up with a chisel. And then remove our tape. And there we have it. And here we have one mug tree completed. For the sake of time, I finished up off camera. And let me get these mugs off here and I'll show you real quick what we got. Now for the sake of time, like I said, I did the finishing touches here off camera. I put a round over on the top and the bottom of the base. I cut the dowel rod to length, and it measures about 16 inches roughly, right at 16. I drilled a hole from the bottom and inserted a screw to hold the dowel rod, and then I cut these 1/2 inch dowel rods. They're 8 1/4 inches long, and then drilled the hole through all the way through, and that's it. Simple as that. There was some of the stuff I didn't video for the sake of time, and this is my first one, so I was still kind of learning here on how tall I wanted it and how long these needed to be and how to drill the hole straight, and I think I got it to where I like it. If I had it to do over, I would probably put something on top here, maybe a contrasting wood. I'll probably make another one in the future, but I've got other stuff I need to get done. And I'm going to put some mineral oil on this, and that's considered a wearable finish, so once it starts looking dull, I'll just reapply some mineral oil. But I'm going to do that real quick and we'll see what it looks like. It should pop pretty nice. And that's a wrap. I think it turned out pretty good. I will come back after a while and whatever's not on this oil, whatever didn't absorb, I'll wipe off any excess. But the wood will suck it in, absorb it as time goes by. And it will dull a little bit in color. It won't be as shiny once it dries, but it'll pretty much, this is what it's going to look like. And when it starts getting really dull, we can always just put some more oil on it. And there we got it. A spot to put our coffee mugs. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you joining me. If you're into this kind of thing, hit that subscribe button and I'll have more videos coming out just as fast as I can, I guess. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.